And I'm just going to read out one question. Whoever has asked this question, I hope they are there in the room. I often tend to compare myself to people and think that I'm easily replaceable. I struggle to maintain long-term relationships. I meditate and affirm myself when intrusive thoughts pop up. But I still don't seem to understand why I cannot accept who I am and always struggle to change myself. Anybody else resonate with this? Yeah, feel free. So, second question. What remedy exactly will work to improve interpersonal relationships in a highly intellectual family of 6 members? What type of meditation can bring all of them on the same wavelength? So, managing relationships at home. Oops. Any specific meditation that can help resolve anger issues, abusive, arrogant language reduction, and how to resolve anger. So these are questions from the self and self-esteem pile we thought we will take up. I'll request Bala to share his perspective.
Thank you, Bhanu. How many of you have attended the first lesson yesterday as a part of Rajyoga Meditation? Very good. So what was taught in that first lesson? What's the essence? Yeah, what is the essence? Sorry? All 7 qualities. Even before 7 qualities, what was taught? Just give me the answer. The answer is Aham Atma Mama Shariram. I am a soul, this is my body. Is that the essence? Did I summarize it right? The rest are all details, but the essence is I am a soul. Now the first question that was asked was, I am not able to accept myself and I think I am replaceable. Okay? If we explore this first lesson a little more, we will get answers for these questions related to self. So let me share with you. Is there anyone else in the universe exactly like you? Sure? Sure? Lock kare? So there's only you. That means each one of us is unique. That is, I am unique. Agreed? Now, if I am unique, then everyone else is also unique. Agreed? That's the first lesson. I'm just going into a little more detail. If I am unique, that means what I like, what I dislike, how I think, how I react is unique. Yes or no? What you think, what you like, how you react is also unique. Unique means different. It could be same, but unique means it is, the possibility is it is different. And that is not wrong. Because each one of us is unique. Yes or no? Then, me expecting somebody else to be like me, is that a good expectation? Or is that a right expectation? Write down one more simple equation. My disappointment is proportional to the square of my expectations. And for some of us, for the cube of my expectations. So now, when my expectation itself is based on a wrong foundation, whether it is my spouse, my kid, my team member, or my manager, they are different. They are unique. They will not think like me. And better than that, when I start accepting this first lesson that I am unique, I will say, they need not think like me. Isn't it fascinating? And they need not like me. And that's okay. Because disproportionate amount of our energy gets wasted in impressing others. This first lesson teaches us how much ever I try to impress, to get impressed or not is in whose hands? Your hands or my hands? Right? The other person. If I try to impress you, you will decide whether to get impressed or not. Yes or no? So when I try to control things that are not in my control, the result is stress. Can I make the other person love me on demand? They will love me when they feel like loving me, not when I want them to love me, because they are unique, they are different. So when we start internalizing this aspect of uniqueness, then as a corollary, when you are unique, I am unique, your performance will be different, my performance will be different. Different means somebody will learn more or earn more, I will earn less or learn less, and that's okay. I can still continue to strive to become better. We are not saying you should not become better, but don't compare with the other person because it doesn't make any sense. So the root cause of most of our anxiety, most of our adhyatmika dukkha, that is the sorrow related to the self. Adi means related to, Atma means self, adhyatmika dukkha is because of this comparison. And the same thing happens in relationships. Because I want you to do this, you must do this. Yes or no? I'm your spouse, I'm your parent, I'm your son. Karna hi chahiye. Now when you incorporate this spiritual aspect, that I am unique, my son is unique, my spouse is unique, my parents are unique. I'm not saying you should not say that classic case, I'm like this only, because that is what Bala said. I am not talking about I am like this only. I'm saying this, when you start accepting the other person and yourself as unique, your ability to relate with them completely transforms. Because now there is no expectation. You still love them, but as they are. Isn't that what we ask for in relationships? Can I just be myself? Am I allowed? Yes or no? So when I consider you as unique, I will allow you to be yourself, and I will also I'll give permission to be myself. Isn't that beautiful? You know, then would you have these comparisons, and even with, as parents, many of you are parents, when you teach this lesson to your kid, because all our life we keep comparing every step, but when you approach it from this stage, won't it be beautiful? Will that not develop the positive self-esteem? Yes or no? Right? And when you talk about anger, that unsatisfied or unresolved desires, that's what gives rise to anger, right? Either from myself or from the other person. But when I consider myself as unique and the other person is unique, I will try to resolve without getting angry. Because if I tear my hair and tear my clothes, will you change? अच्छा किया, अभी और करूँगा. Because now you gave your remote to the other person. सभी को देके रखे हैं, काम वाली के साथ सभी को देके रखे हैं. आप प्रेस करो, मैं डांस करूँगा. And then ऐसा करो ना, ये दिखाऊँगा अभी. No, but then you will reclaim your remote. And specific meditation, another beautiful thing which is from those 7 qualities. Yesterday also I shared, if you want you can make a note and then keep, reflecting. Smriti says samarthi. Smriti, what is my awareness about myself? If I am a soul and I am filled with these qualities, then staying peaceful is not something I am borrowing from outside. I am peace. It's not I can be peaceful. I am peace. Very powerful. So when you are peace, you don't have to try to be peaceful. You are just that. And when I start practicing, it becomes easier and easier. It will take time. all the answers I'm going to give, sorry to disappoint you, but this is reality. All the answers I'm going to give you or we are going to discuss here will need effort. Agreed? Other than at Brahma Kumaris and a few other places, there is no such thing as free lunch. We have to work to get things done. So please keep that in mind. We have to work and it's possible. Okay?
Okay. So this is also related to another question that we got, which is about feeling worthless, right? So I'm not worthy of being in a family, being in the kind of company that I have. So I think that's something also related to this self-esteem aspect, right? Understanding that I'm unique and the role that I play is also unique.
What was the second lesson that you learned? Whoever has attended. Second lesson में क्या सीखा? राजयोग lesson में आज किसके बारे में सीखा? Now, this is where the second element of feeling worthless comes in. All of us, as human beings, we want to be loved, we want to be accepted. That's fundamental. Yes or no? All of us. And that's what we strive for. And that's where this intimate relationship with God comes in. That's where we don't call God as God, we call him as Baba, because it makes it so much more relatable. You know, when he says, "Tum jo ho, jaise ho, mere ho." Can you just close your eyes and feel that? Just close your eyes. Recall your favorite deity. And then the deity, you just emerge in front of you. He or she, they come and hug you and then look straight into your eyes and say, "Tum jo ho, jaise ho, mere ho."
I'll take the next.
Open your eyes, please. He loves us because we are. I am is a full sentence in English. I don't need anything else after that. He loves me because I am. I don't have to do something to get his love. Can I experience that every day? I keep telling myself, Bala, everyone in this world can reject you, but there's someone, one who loves you for who you are. आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. He loves you because you are, period. Can I allow him to love me? Because a lot of times we don't allow others to love us. And that's what Baba also says. I am ready, but are you ready to receive my love?
What we'll do now, Balabai, we'll cover some of these in tomorrow's session maybe. Yeah? So I'm just conscious of time.
This is one aspect which I would encourage you to start practicing. The essence of each lesson. There's a reason why we incorporated those Rajyoga meditation course. Because this is what, once you start practicing, a lot of these other issues will get answered. And that is applied spirituality, which you learned yesterday or day before when Dilip Bhai was talking about this retreat.
Yeah. So just in the interest of time, we'll go to overthinking, because we have short time and we have a lot of thoughts in our mind. There's a lot of thinking going on. So this by far was the largest pile of questions that we had. Negative thinking and overthinking. So there is a lot of thinking, writing about overthinking that happened, right? So, so the questions are, I'm going to read all of them. So Bala will make notes and then answer them in sequence. Situations overpower my mind. I successfully divert my mind, but for a short period of time. After a few hours, I think about the same negative situation again. How to overpower the situation permanently?
Okay.
I'll go on, yeah? What to do when negative thoughts still comes at times repeatedly, even when during positive sankalp thoughts? Please guide. Om Shanti. It was there on that question. How to get rid of negative repetitive thoughts? How can I overcome self-blame?
You're done?
How can I control my anger and overthinking about the future? I think a lot about small things. It makes me sometimes irritated. How can we deal with an overthinking, OCD affected person, not the self, but somebody else? Be it a spouse or a person at work. How do you think a normal person can bring about a change in life? An IT professional needs a time management. They think they should give some lights. Balance between family and work life for IT people. All of these related to thinking.
Then I'll come there. I'll give you a principle which I made for myself, which will answer most of this overthinking. Question number 1. When do you overthink? Or why would you overthink? You want something to happen and you are worried it will not happen, or it is not happening the way you want it to happen. That's what leads to overthinking. Did I summarize it right? All overthinking is because of this. Okay, now the principle. When I try to control things that are not in my control, the result is stress and overthinking. You can write down and reflect. I'll just spend a couple of minutes on that. I have control only on what I can do. Yes or no? I have absolutely no control on the result. Karmanyevadhikaraste. I am preparing for my exam. What is it that I have in my control? My son is preparing for his exam. Should I get BP? Should I get hypertension? Can I control his or her performance? No. So this realization that I will focus on what I can do and not worry about what is the result, it's not so easy. But that is the only way in which we can overcome overthinking. Thinking plus desire to control is equal to worrying. That's the equation. Thinking plus desire to control is equal to worrying. Every time you are worried, it will result in overthinking. Yes or no? And every time you worry, ask yourself, what is it that you are trying to control? I ask myself, every time I get a little bit anxious, I say, Bala, what are you trying to control? I'll give an example. Now we prepared a bunch of questions. And I prepared a couple of sessions. There are other speakers. We came up with a good agenda. आप सुनेंगे या सोएंगे मेरे हाथ में है. I have absolutely no control. Will you like what I am going to share? I have absolutely no control. Will you clap after I finish my answer? You don't have to. I have absolutely no control. Because if I keep thinking about every time that this is a way of trying to control your reaction, yes or no. I'm not saying you should have good desire, because desire is what drives life. I want you to take benefit, and with that perspective, we work and we created this program. But if I continuously try to control your response, that becomes worry. That leads to overthinking. There are a couple of other principles, वो हम कल cover करेंगे. Okay? Oh, thanks for remembering. Because tomorrow we have another session on the power of positive self-talk. I would encourage you to make time and then be in the session. We are going to tackle this particular topic in a lot more detail. But the most important element for stress or overthinking is that principle. What am I trying to control?
And a closely related topic to thinking is attention. All right. So
yes.
The aspect of attention figures quite prominently again. How can I structure my day? How can I structure my day? I keep making many to-do lists and I end up not following them or procrastinating. How can I avoid this? Is making to-do lists not the right way?
I see a lot of smiles. That's why we have these questions. अरे ये तो मेरा ही question है.
When I read books, this is not exactly attention but closely related to it. When I read books for self-help or topics related to my profession, With great difficulty, I remember a few points. How to improve memory, focus, retention after reading books?
1 second. Because there are two different questions. I'm stopping you, Bhanu bhai.
Yeah.
So there's a question about how do I structure my day. Lots of questions about time management. Today, please redefine. There is no such thing as time management. What we need is attention management. अगर attention नहीं है, मैं आपको 16 घंटा दूं या 24 घंटे दूं या 48 घंटे दूं तो फिर भी आप नहीं कर पाएंगे. So it is not a question of managing time. It's a question of managing my attention. Remember the equation yesterday? Time spent multiplied by intensity of focus. Time spent is the same. Even if you extend, if your focus is not there, you will not get the result. So ask a different question. And that's what even Jayanti Ben was talking about in the morning very beautifully. You will listen that same message in that slightly different from all of us. Can you make time for yourself in the morning to sit, reflect, take a notebook and a pen, not a mobile. We saw that yesterday. Take a notebook and a pen. Sit there and create a me time for yourself. What time? Me time. That's my time. Just 10 minutes in the morning. Possible? How many of you want to do that? Very good. Look at your day and then see, write down what are the things that you want to do. And then keep ticking them off. And if you are really busy and you don't have schedule which keeps changing by hour, then after a couple of hours, review it. If I need uninterrupted time, then remove all sorts of distractions and then say, iske liye mujhe 1 ghanta chahiye. Because this is the kind of focus I need and this is the amount of time I need. That attention management automatically will lead to your time management. Pay attention to your attention. Give those 10 minutes of me time in the morning. Just sit back, relax. Even if you're working, even if you have to go to your office, don't start banging your laptop as soon as you sit at your desk. Just sit there, take your notebook, go to your conference room or at your desk, close your eyes, just visualize your day, write down. And then prepare. Now this meeting I'm going, this fellow knows how to press my buttons, but I will practice my Shant Swarup Atma hu. Karo, abhyas karne, because if you don't prepare, they will press and you will dance. But when you are prepared and they press, you have already removed the battery. Remote se battery निकाल दिया. अभी कितना भी दबाओ, channel change नहीं होगा ना. चैनल उनको चैनल चेंज होना चाहिए लेकिन यहाँ चैनल चेंज नहीं होता है. मैं शांत स्वरूप आत्मा हूँ. ये क्या हो गया इसको ब्रह्मा कुमार इसके पास जाके. Now when that is removed, because I prepared myself, I went through the day. It becomes easy for me to get through the day. So those 10 minutes of me time is a very important and useful discipline. Now when we talk about memory, when we are talking about how do I remember things, without repetition, when you read books, without repetition, there is no remembering. Yesterday we learned from the neuroplasticity. Without repetition, there is no remembering. That's why as kids we were taught 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8. Repeat. Yes or no? That's the reason. Because only when you repeat with attention, the corresponding neural circuits will become stronger. When they become stronger, you will remember longer. And that's the definition of memory. If you are not remembering, it means you are not doing two things. One, you are not reviewing what you have read, and you are not repeating the important points. That is why you are not remembering. There are no shortcuts. You read a book, you made a one-page summary. Keep that one-page summary, not in your mobile, in your book. And after a week, read it again. After a week, read it again. Then after a few times, what happens? They become familiar and they got recorded. When you don't do this, you won't be able to remember. It's very simple. That's why it needs time. You need to make time for yourself. You will not have time. You need to, no, it's your choice again, because everything boils down to choice. So when you repeat, when you review, you will remember.
On this reading books, again, from my personal experience, there are a very small percentage of people in the world who read cover to cover, right? And there is a large majority of them who don't finish books. So you're not in minority, you're actually in a majority, that people who don't finish books or who don't read the books, who don't remember them. But something that I learned personally is when I'm reading a self-help book because somebody has recommended that book to me, or I've read this on a list, famous list of what Bill Gates has read or somebody else has read, I don't resonate with it. And I have to find what is exactly that, why am I reading this book? What is the purpose of this book? And maybe in the entire book there is a chapter or there are a set of pages that are actually more important for me, a key concept. It may be fine to just focus on that alone. And the other approach is to do something like a sandwich. You're reading, putting it into practice, and that application actually creates enthusiasm to read further, instead of just reading and then having no application for it, having no use for it. So finding some way in which you can balance theory and practice is better than just thinking of how number of books that you have read.
No chef became a good chef in the world by just memorizing a cookbook. So just reading will not be enough. Once I start applying, it becomes easier. Now there's another question about to-do list, and I'll share something funny, which all of us share. मैं कल से change हो जाऊंगी बाला भाई, कल से पक्का. So we always think that our future self is much better than my current self without making any changes. So all the good things we transfer it to our future self. 1 साल के बाद, 6 महीने के बाद, या माउंट आबू से वापस आने के बाद. अभी तो मैं आबू में ही हूँ ना, वापस आने के बाद. That's what you must have told others before you started here. So this irrational confidence about the capability of our future self creates procrastination. And for that, I tell myself, as a part of my previous job, I had to prepare some boring root cause analysis reports, most of us, which we don't like. But it's a part of your job. You need to do it. So when I sit for doing that job, we'll discuss this even tomorrow. I'll just give you a glimpse of what positive self-talk is. When I sit there, now naturally the thought begins, कहाँ के फंस गया, ये कौन सा टीम है, ये करते नहीं है, ये कहाँ का मैनेजर मिल गया, कहाँ का कंपनी, शुरू हो गया? Now I say stop. Bala, you're not working for charity, you're getting paid. Only you have to do this, sit and complete, stop wailing, stop crying. अभी या 2 घंटे के बाद, 3 घंटे के बाद आपको ही करना है. Sit and do it. 20 मिनट तक काम करता है. 20 मिनट के बाद फिर दूसरा संकल्प चलता है. ये कितना भी करूं, ये पूरा नहीं होता है, ऐसे मिस्टेक्स करते क्यों हैं? Bala, stop. Focus. Finish it. Only you have to do it. And that's very simple. It goes because that's the quality of mind, because a bunch of questions were asked. I keep forgetting, my mind keeps going towards negative. That's what mind does. I use that, but my friends don't like it. It is a feature, it's not a bug. That is what the mind is supposed to be doing. It will keep going towards negative because it's not powerful yet. We haven't practiced yet. But you do this practice, bring it back. Bala, focus, finish it. आपको ही करना है. Yes or no? And every job, there is no such job in the world where you will enjoy all the time. Impossible. You will always have things which you don't like. And quite often I give this example, you know, whenever you are becoming the first time parent, you will see lots of YouTube videos, kids smiling, laughing. I will also get this kind of kid. But no video shows you how stinking the diaper is. जो आपको change करना ही पड़ेगा. Yes or no? You can't say I will only enjoy my kid's smiles and there is somebody else. ऐसा नहीं होता है. It's a part of life. And exactly the same thing with all our jobs. There will be pieces which you will not like, and that me time will help you. Today is going to be a little tough. I need to be focused, and I will do it. I will get through it. And see the difference this little bit of positive self-talk makes to you. Right? So that is why when you pick up a to-do list, and I'll tell you one more thing. There's another little quirk that our mind does. The more detailed way we plan, okay, your mind thinks or you think that just by planning you have already done it. कुछ हुआ नहीं है. तो जब 3 घंटे बैठ के डिटेल में प्लान बनाते हैं, दिल भर जाता है. या ऐसा उठूंगा, ये करूंगा, ये नहीं करूंगा. कुछ किया नहीं है, सिर्फ प्लान बनाया है. And you start feeling so good. And after a couple of hours, after a couple of days, सिर्फ प्लान बच जाता है. So please don't fall into this trap. That's where the to-do list is. करना शुरू करो, because that is how our mind deceives us. Don't get deceived. It's just a plan. वो practical में आया नहीं है. Yes, करना है. Now I know it's lunch time. I know Vidatri Ban has come already. Yeah, are you okay if we take a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not feeling hungry yet? No. Good. Yeah, so it's definitely the first step, but just the point is not to stop at that first step. Yeah. Okay. So this is when Bala was mentioning earlier about free lunch, it just reminded me. So this is another question that's come multiple times, right? So the Brahmakumaris has this huge setup, this amazing facility. You're feeding us, you're housing us here. How does all of this work? And what is the concept of Brahmakumari's philosophy towards service? And in this aspect, how do you maintain this organization? And also the cleanliness aspect has come up, saying, we are seeing the campus is so clean and nice. Who is managing, who is administering all of this and overseeing these sevadaris?
Very good question. This is what I explored. It's been 31 years since I'm associated with Brahmakumaris. So every time I used to come in the beginning, I observed what is it that motivates all of these people? What is that motivation which is translating into all this? Then I started observing their language. Language, the words we use, they have huge impact on our experience and on our perspective. What language are you using for yourself? What language are you using for your team members, your kids? Check that language, check those words. Now when I check the language, what language is used here, you will never ever hear anywhere in the world, in any Brahmakumari center or retreat center, they will never ask you, Benji ya Bhaiji, ye kaam hai, aap ye karenge? You will never hear that. They'll say, Benji, ye seva hai. Aap kar sakte hain? Is there a difference? Kaam mein aur seva mein? Now that's the first big thing. Whatever you do, that which you are doing becomes an offering to the God. तभी वो सेवा बनता है ना. खीर में प्रसाद में फर्क है या नहीं है? क्या फर्क है? That's something that which is offered to God. That's what purifies it. Then it becomes prasad. If you don't offer it, even if you had the best kind of all your nuts and everything else, it is still not prasad. It is still kheer. So when you start approaching whatever is done here, it is considered as an offering to the God himself. तो जो मैं कर रहा हूँ, वो उनके लिए कर रहा हूँ. And you become the means to satisfy him. See how beautiful? So then my dedication is not for you. It automatically comes because I'm trying to impress him. Because the equation is between him and me, not between me and you. इसलिए हम हंसी में कहते हैं ब्रह्मा कुमारीस में, हर बात के बीच में बाबा. किसी और को देखते हैं तो गुस्सा आता है, लेकिन बीच में बाबा को लाओ तो आपको गुस्सा नहीं आएगा. Because whatever you're doing it for him. वो गुस्सा करते हैं और मुझे शांत रहना है. किसके लिए शांत रह रहे हो? किसने कहा आपको? He said it. You're following your father. That's why you're peaceful. So बीच में किसको लाया? You're not getting upset. You're not getting anxious. किसकी बात सुनी आपने? You listen to him. Right? So that is what creates this kind of self-driven cleanliness. There's nobody here. There are about 50 departments, but you would not have all of them punching time cards and one leader always checking, mail kiya? 2 घंटे का ये नहीं आया, मुझे अपडेट मिलना चाहिए, आप क्या कर रहे हो, 10 अपडेट आने चाहिए, 4 ही आए हैं. Nobody does that. And in terms of how this runs, yes, we live in a world where there is money that is needed to run the whole facility and to feed and to make and to do this seva, because that doesn't come for free. And another beautiful thing which I learned here, the language. We don't ask for कि आप ये पैसे दो. No, because we don't say that. Many of you have also asked us, and many of them keep asking, fees pay करना है? 3 दिन आप कह रहे हो कि अकोमोडेशन भी है, भोजन भी है और ये सेशंस भी कराएंगे, बाहर हम जाते हैं तो इतना खर्च होता है, यहाँ कितना खर्च होता है. So we just want to know what is your fees. So fees means money minus blessings. Fees का मतलब क्या है? Money minus blessings. Yes, that is where you go to the hotel, you eat, you give the money. I gave you the money, you gave it to me. बस हो गया. The equation is done. But when you say, when you voluntarily contribute, dil se, that is money plus blessings. And that's the principle that Baba taught. Right from the beginning, even in 1939 when this organization started, Baba would forbid asking any money from outside. He would say, पहले उस आत्मा की सेवा करो. जब वो आत्मा संतुष्ट हो जाए और उनके मन से निकलेगा कि ऐसी सेवा और बढ़नी चाहिए और आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, and when they contribute, that becomes an offering. That's why in Brahma Kumaris we don't have the concept of fees. Very important.
This is work related and probably related to the anger and thoughts and all of this, so it encompasses all of them. Whenever the team doesn't do the work I assigned to them, it disturbs me. It disturbs me a lot and keeps me thinking how to manage my team and get things done from my team. Because of the work not getting completed by my team, it increases my anger. How to be peaceful and calm even in this kind of situations? How can we improve focus at work? Okay.
I'll give you another simple equation. These are some of the workshops that I've been doing at Sears, even before coming here. A lot of times, not a lot of times, almost always, we are worried about our team not reaching their goal. Yes or no? And we get rewarded or punished based on reaching the goal. But even before the goal, there is role. Role clarity gives rise to goal clarity. When was the last time you sat with your team member and explained what are your expectations, what are they supposed to be doing, and if they don't do this, what are the repercussions, and if they do this, what will they get? Now, if they are serial offenders, which you will get some, bell curve, you will always get 10 to 15% who don't want to listen to you, who don't want to do what you want, what you ask them to do. Then it's a choice you have. You want to live with them or you want to ask them to go. But there are other 70% in the middle. Okay, there are 15% to the right who are self-motivated, who will do even without asking you, asking them to do, they understand they will do it. They take the initiative. But the rest of the 70%, they need that nudge. So as a leader, do you spend that time and clarify? Ask them, did they understand what kind of help and support they need? A lot of times we don't do that. इतना भी नहीं समझता है, नहीं समझता है. Nothing wrong with it. Go sit and then explain. And there's nothing wrong with it. And listen from their perspective, what is possible, what is not possible. And then help them. Because no person, and that's what I believe, no person wakes up in the morning to fail. Yes or no? No person comes to office to get a failed grade in their performance. No person steps into office to get fired. Yes or no? As a leader, when I believe that, then I will start giving that role clarity to my team members. And this is where I learned another beautiful principle with Brahma Kumaris. Balance of love and law. दोनों चाहिए. And remember yesterday's principle, Ati Sarvatra Varjayet. Only love, nahi chalega. Only law, nahi chalega. Because you're going to scare the hell out of that fellow. Even before to come in front of you, they'll get scared because you are always loveful and you never smile. Because you think if I smile, they will take advantage. And see the terror you create. And that is also Ati. And love. Kya farak padta hai yaar? My manager is like elder brother. That's how he treats me. 10 baje jao, 11 baje jao, kya farak padne wala hai? That is Ati in love. So love and law, you need to maintain that balance. Now how do you do it? Homework for you.
This is the last question we'll take. This question is also related to something we discussed earlier maybe. How can we eliminate imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome. So this is a feeling that I may be at a place that I am not worthy of, or I may be at a place where, how did I even come here? Right? Am I at the right place? There are so many people more worthy than me, and I may be at the wrong place. Will I get caught eventually? Will I wake up from my dream at some point and realize that all of this is a dream and it's too good to be true? Again, goes back to this aspect of self-esteem and self-worth. Now, I think it is important to trace back and be proud about all the situations and circumstances that you may have overcome in life. Sometimes we spend less time looking back at our own past and being happy and proud about really the challenges that all of you have overcome. It's impossible for human beings to have less than inspirational lives. It's just that we haven't looked deep enough. It's just that we haven't looked closely enough. And when I go back and look at my own life, I can see many instances where I have actually overcome really important key challenges in life. And all of those actually make me capable, make me worthy, make me suitable for a particular position. And once in a while, I have to take time to reflect, think about the challenges that I have overcome, the skills that I have accumulated, the qualities, and what makes me worthy of being here. Right? And this often happens in academic settings, as students or at work. And sometimes it's just a matter of going back and looking. It's not just the place that you are, it's also the path that you have taken. And that path is usually filled with challenges and things that you overcome. You just haven't been inspired. And you'll also find somebody else inspired by you and your journey. And you haven't spoken to them maybe enough. And when they share, then you realize how valuable you have been to them. Right? So all of this exposure will help. Be very, very proud of what you have done, not pride. Be very, very happy that you have overcome some challenges. Make a record of these things. These are good memories to have. And then over a period of time, you will overcome them. Anything to add?
So before we leave, I'll share one thing, because topic came about challenges. Lots of challenges both inside and outside. So many, many years ago, Suraj Bhaiji shared something very, very beautiful. And I want you to make a note, reflect, and practice that. Ingrain it inside. जिस परिस्थिति को आप पार नहीं कर सकते, वो परिस्थिति आपके सामने आएगी ही नहीं. ये ईश्वरीय लॉ है. Any situation, if it has come in front of you, it means you can overcome it. Whether you know it or not, whether you try it or not, you can overcome it. It's just that you have to do it. Because if you can't overcome, it will not come in front of you. As simple as that. So if it has come in front of you, the other way around, the converse, okay, जिस परिस्थिति को आप पार, okay, whatever situation or challenge which you cannot overcome will never come in front of you. Or the converse is, any situation that comes in front of you, it comes in front of you because you can overcome it. Right? That is what Suraj was also talking about, Swaman. And one more thing that we learn here at Brahma Kumari is another beautiful Swaman is, मैं शिव शक्ति हूँ. Very simple but very powerful. I am never alone. शिव भी और शक्ति भी दोनों combined है. मैं Shiv Shakti hu. So when you club these two principles, sometimes we fail, sometimes we pass, but we will never get upset because I can face the problem. That lack of confidence is what gives rise to a lot of unnecessary anxiety. Okay? Thank you. So we'll take a minute and just practice this Swaman. Sit straight. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable that way. Take a deep breath. As you relax, gently visualize a shining bright white star in the middle of your forehead. A shining bright white star, spreading white rays of peace and relaxation all around you. As you see yourself through your mind's eye as a shining bright white star in the middle of your forehead, gently make this thought. मैं शिव शक्ति combined स्वरूप आत्मा हूँ. I am शिव शक्ति combined soul. मैं शिव शक्ति combined स्वरूप आत्मा हूँ. I am शिव शक्ति combined soul. Gently open your eyes. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you. And with this, we break for lunch and a few important announcements. For any help, the help desk is set up right outside